Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dynasty. I'm back for another week of sports talk with you, and I am walking and dancing. That's right, I moved my chair. Hey, welcome to Dynasty, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Andrew Bear. I'm wearing the shirt. That means you know what time it is. Well, you must have also known what time it is because it's Friday. That means Friday nights are chilling out with me, yours damn truly, Mr. Andrew Bear, the host of NSD. And oh, do we have a show for you today? Oh my goodness gracious, I cannot believe the show that we have got for you. So first things first, before I even get into anything about this show, like it, share it, follow it, and like mainly subscribe to it. Go to YouTube and subscribe because we've hit the 50 subscriber mark, ladies and gentlemen. Hooyah! We hit the 50 subscribers. That means I have to do a giveaway. But when we get to my favorite number 77, we do the second giveaway. But we also got a giveaway going out on the Facebook page right now. I was at a festival last weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I talked to you right before I went. And then literally 24 hours after that, I had one hell of an experience. Holy cow. And there was only 2 NFL jerseys that I saw that entire festival. You got to tell me what it is. The guesses are all on the one post there, ladies and gentlemen. Don't double guess. Don't ruin your guesses. But if you guess one, you get a t-shirt. You guess both, you get a t-shirt, and you'll get another special prize. But I want to see everybody get at least one shirt. So let's see if you can guess one of them. It'd be cool to see actually someone get it on the same one. I saw a picture out there today where both players were on the same damn picture. You can believe it. So yes, the giveaway is going out right now. If you would like a free NSD t-shirt, not this one, but I will have they're coming. Actually, one is in the wash right now, but we have more. So give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow, enter yourself into that giveaway. And also, we're going to have some more giveaways going on this season. Oh, we got some stuff coming in. I cannot wait. I see you all in the comment section. I wanted to make sure I didn't hit the surprise one, because I have the real one. You see that? You see that? We're going to do my season prediction here right when we talk about the Bucs. After we talk about the Bucs, talk a little bit about Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. But we also got Sydney Swinton coming on to help us do another mock draft, because that's what NSD is all about, ladies and gentlemen. We do sports shows, but we also do fantasy football to make sure that you guys are all ready to go for this season. And the special guest, the fucking special guest is here, ladies and gentlemen. You are not going to believe who we have got in store for you. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. It's been a while. Has been a while since I could talk about the... We'll get to the team that we're going to talk about there, ladies and gentlemen, in just a little bit. Let's get to some of the people that are in here. Sid Swinton said first. Alex Loosemore said second. Ash Swinton got a little upset and said, I wanted to be first just in time. It's okay. Teresa Baxter tuning in saying, hey, guys. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Christopher Cole says third and fourth. Kate Alyssa dropping in there says, I am here, and she is ready to go. By the way, if you like that little bit of a at the beginning of the show, that it is one member of the new Dynasty League that we have going on here, the NSD LTF Dynasty. That is Craig Hardy's very own band, Isolate Peaks. So if you want to give them a shout out and give them a like on YouTube, I'm sure that he would love that. Tag them down into the comment section. I didn't give a chance to let him know that we used this song at the beginning. I'm obviously going to have the proper thing for him here in a bit. And I see all of you here watching on the big screen. Much love. Show the kids. They'd say, love the intro. Oh, thanks. I'm sure my son was probably in the shower like, this feels so awesome to have a little bit more space. I don't know why I have not done this before. The audio's good, as long as I don't freaking hit everything. Oh, yeah, this is great. Oh, snap, you switched up the intro. I can dig it. Isn't it nice? If I can get tunes, ladies and gentlemen. If you are on YouTube and you're up there and you haven't hit any copyright, hey, I'm small enough right now. Bring on your tunes. Let's not hit any copyrights, obviously, but Isolate Peaks ain't going to hit no copyrights, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Loosemore says trying to figure out who these damn jerseys are. I know you've been on it every single day. Christopher Cole says a Brady. No, it's not a Brady one, buddy. Who invited that guy again? Oh, what do you mean? 6-11 Steelers, yeesh. Hope they prove you wrong, but I could also see that happening. Colin Walsh, thank you for tuning in. Listen, we're going to get into that there, but first, let's get into a little bit of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and what is going on there and what's scaring the hell out of me, man. I need to stop seeing the names Mike Evans and Chris Godwin appearing on my phone every single day. I need it to stop. It's starting to freak me out, okay? I am ready for a championship year, ladies and gentlemen. Are you not all Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans? Can I get a hell yeah in the comments? Can I get a hell yeah? Are we not ready for a championship? Are we not ready to go for it all this year? Well, when Chris Godwin shows up on my phone, you're like, hey, we got reinforcements. Yes, he's at practice. He's in a boot at least, but he's looking good. And then it was like, oh, Mike Evans is out with a hamstring. What is going on? Now, Andrew, settle down. It's just the heat. He's back. I forgot that I still got tape here from when I had my Ethernet cord going through. Ugh. Anyway, Mike Evans scared us all today with a little bit of a report that came out that the hamstring, the annual hamstring as it was put, which I'm not a fan of that. I'm not going to sit here and state anything otherwise. I am not a fan of the fact that they said the annual hamstring because we all know it. We just don't want to state it. Okay? The annual hamstring, yes, was a problem, but this is also Mike Evans playing in the heat. This guy has put his body out for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for many of years right now. But this right here, when it pops up on your screen and we're in championship mode and we want this guy to have one more damn season where he's got 1,000 yards. Isn't that like the scariest thing? Especially then a couple hours later, the reports come out where it's like, let's just relax. He's going to be fine. Again, it's the annual injury. It still is not something that we want to hear. Christopher Cole is saying it right. Evans in his annual hamstring injury, LOL. I don't want to hear that injury. Hell yeah. Hell no. Poor Mike Evans, Abby, I know. I wanted to get right there. Nick Rosario, hello, Redbeard. Thank you for tuning in. Alex Eastmore says, so much room for activities channeling your inner stepbrothers. And Caitlin also says, he will be okay. He is going to be okay. But this kind of maybe answers the question, why do we keep bringing in so many damn wide receivers? Are we going to carry 7 or 8 wide receivers? Well, I actually went on Spaces on Twitter today and talked to Joshua Cole Allen's very own Pewter Report's very own Joshua Cole Allen, and asked him the very question, is with everything going on right now, Do you think this is kind of like why this is going on with everything with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers receiving core? And which one of these Tampa Bay Buccaneers receivers do you think has had the best camp right now? And a lot of people, listen, he went off and he was very, very informative. Give him a shout out if you can on all your shows. Give him a follow and a like. Pewter Report's very own Joshua Cole Allen. He told me that, the hamstring injury is going to be fine. It's the amount of receivers that we're going to be carrying into camp or carrying out of camp on the active roster that kind of scares them. Which ones are we allowing to go to that waiver wire transitional period where they're going to get picked up by a different team? And which ones are we going to just, have to hold on to and then put on the practice squad? Which ones do we pick from? Isn't that a good problem to have, though, Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans? Isn't it the problem we've all been kind of waiting for? It's to sit back and relax and finally have more than what we should be having right now, being that the wide receiver core. Who the hell actually thought, not even Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans, maybe just ask this one thing. Raise your hand if you have ever thought in your entire life that Julio Jones will be putting on the pewter and hopefully creamsicle if he stays for next year. Anybody? Not me. Not me. If Kyle Yacy would have told me this was happening eventually, I would have laughed in his face. Alex Loosemore, any of the people I ever used to work with would have said, you probably get Julio Jones. Get out of here. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Colin Wallace says, if you had two other Pro Bowl caliber wideouts to replace him, oh, wait, you do. And the angry face. Colin Wallace, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. And, it is a thing. Look at this. Evans, Godwin, Jones, Gage, and more. Hell yeah. Too many receivers, not enough football. This is something that Nick Rosario actually was talking about on one of his show. He asked me, do you think on the roundtable, Let's Talk Football, which you can go and check them out. I would name every single one of their shows, but I would have to have that list right beside me, and I don't have it, so I apologize. But Let's Talk Football on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, everywhere you can follow. Get a hold of them. You can see all the content that they're putting out every single day. And he said, do you honestly think they can get the ball spread around there, Mr. Faubert? And I basically told him, nope. A lot of people are going to be very disappointed in a lot of things that are going to be happening this year. And I'm very sorry, Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans. It's true. Mike Evans may not get his 1,000 yards that we want. And then all of a sudden, all the Saint fans are going to come out of nowhere and be like, hey, he's not the greatest wide receiver ever. Which, by the way, if you go and check all the tape on Michael Thomas right now out of camp, I always see him running one route. It goes like this. It slants. I'm pretty sure we give him a nickname for a reason. And it's not just our franchise that does it. Sorry. Sorry. Anyway, we got a lot of different receivers. It's a good problem to have. As I saw right there, very good problem. But as Nick Rosario did ask, it can cause other problems. It can cause Evans to not get some of these bonuses. But with what you're about to see here, behind me, this big, beautiful board rate. Not this thing I created. What you're about to see here is what I think is going to be happening next season. So I will get to that here in a second, but I wanted to get through a couple more of these comments. Wishing the Cowboys had this problem. Did last year, you had a lot of different wide receivers. One of them got paid like Zay Jones money. I was saying, no way in hell. That's right. There's certain players that you just think would never, ever, not necessarily go and play for other teams, but be available for other teams. That's the point. That's the point right there. Me and Ben Cornett, thank you for tuning in tonight, my friend. I did. Okay. Well, I guess a lot of people out there actually did. Massive list of people who are absolutely killing it. Massive praise to Let's Talk Football. Damn right, dude. Look at all these beautiful people in the chat here tonight joining us. This is awesome. You guys, I can't wait for you to see our special guest here. So let's get right into this, though. Let's get right into this beautiful paperwork right here. My season prediction, ladies and gentlemen. I spent all season on this, and for a little bit, I was basically dead set on a couple of things. That the Cincinnati Bengals were going to miss the playoffs, and that there was a lot of different things that were going to be coming out of the woodworks for the Denver Broncos. And one of those things I am only dead set on. I don't think the Denver Broncos are making the playoffs. Here you go. Take a quick Snapchat. Or Snapchat. Oh, God, don't use that. Don't go to my Snapchat. Go take a snap, pick snap, whatever of this. All right? And what you see here, ladies and gentlemen, is me telling you something. This is going to be one of the first times ever where we have a lot of teams in the NFL who all have a very good chance of making the playoffs, whether we would like to admit it or not. And there's only one fucking reason why. Because 26, possibly 27 of these teams here actually have quarterbacks. And they don't have issues at quarterbacks either. And I see everyone going off on here. I got to get a couple more here. Colin Walsh, Michael Thomas is still in the league. Totally forgot. I agree. Zagnif Productions, what up? Buddy, you got to give me that drop that you got of me, by the way, too. I need that. Ha slam boy. Ash Swinton, thank you for tuning in. Zagnif also says, you are so out of pocket, and I am here for it, buddy. I am so far in your pocket. Is that even the same? I don't know, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Zagnif Production. Only Foobs, and Only Foobs can hug a whiteboard on live stream and gain more followers, right? I saw that thing pop up. Who typed in hashtag whiteboard in the comment section, or even like getting trending on Twitter or whatever the hell you need to do? Ben says Jags 9-8. Yeah. And you know what? I got something even more for you here, my friend. Let's go right to something right here. My top 5 games of the year. Top 5 games of the year. Look at this. I got the perfect. I can even bring it over here if I needed to, Ben. I'm just kidding. Listen. One of these games, my number 1 game of the year. I'm going to call it right now. I could even go, if I can go that far into it, I would put the money on it. Week 8. I am going to take the Denver Broncos versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I am going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars money line, whatever it is. And here's why. The Jacksonville Jaguars may not actually make the playoffs. The Jacksonville Jaguars may not actually be a great team. But Doug Peterson does do one good thing as a head coach, and that gets the best out of all their players. That's why Philadelphia was really great. And I actually see that comment there about Philadelphia too. Speaking of the Devils, and I'll get to that in a second. Doug Peterson is going to win some games, and Doug Peterson is going to steal some victories against some very good teams. And one of those teams I think that he's going to steal it away from is the Denver Broncos. And I think that loss for the Denver Broncos is almost the catalyst and the fault in the boat of what took out the Colts last year. And yes, it just so happens to be the Jags again. But I think that game, because of how close this division is right here, and the other games that have to be played accordingly, there's a reason why. There's a reason why they would not make the playoffs at 10-7. We've seen it happen before. But the biggest thing out of that I never thought when I went through this a few times and realized how many other teams have such easy layup schedules. Ladies and gentlemen, I got Harry the Greek on it. I am looking for it up here in Canada. I am willing to put a lot of money to state this, and I quote, you can hold me to it. It is on the board. I will take a picture of this and post it. I'm going to flip my keyboard around. Jesus, let me just get that out of the way here before I have too much energy. There is a team that will finish under 500 that will make the playoffs this year. And why do I say that? First of all, ladies and gentlemen, I'm crazy. I know it, but like and share and follow. Put the reactions down there. I want to see them. Give me a hell yeah in the comment section and let me know that you're here following and listening. Now listen to this. You got the Minnesota Vikings. You got the San Francisco 49ers, the New Orleans Saints, the Arizona Cardinals. And just make sure I don't have anybody else that I'm missing. You got the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. All of which right now are vying for that last playoff spot, in my opinion. Washington Commanders can very much so get in there. Almost any of these teams respectively can get in there. Even the Detroit Lions. But not the Seattle Seahawks, obviously. But this is where things get a little bit more harder for people to understand. The schedule is already made. Do people think that good teams get layups as well? No. Teams have to win, lose. And if it just so happened to be NFL Sunday Ticket and Madden EA 23 all mixed together, we could have 4 teams go 17-0 in the middle of the season and then meet each other in the conference finals, because you could essentially figure out the way to make it happen. It's not what happens in real life. Look at some of these divisions right here. Bills go 13-4. 7-10 for the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. That division right there is going to be tough because we all know the New York Jets are going to steal some games. Do we all not know or think that? Go to the north here for a second. The Bengals and the Browns, or the Bengals and the Ravens, we all know are going to be playoff teams. Even if the Cincinnati Bengals can not necessarily get in with a home advantage like they want to. It might have to be the underdogs like they were last year. And you look at the South, how do you not like the Colts right now? Do the Colts not just scream a dominant position? Do we not just scream a dominant team in Indiana? Like, come on. Indiana's basically got that division. Tennessee falters a little bit only because they are dealing with injuries. They're still dealing with rookies who have to take positions for veterans that they have lost in free agency for the last 2 years. I still love what Tennessee can do. Tennessee can very much steal their 2 games off of Jacksonville, making Jacksonville 8-9 and Tennessee 10-7, and putting them into a position where they could possibly take out someone like the Bengals, or even possibly doing some damage later on to allow the I keep saying the Browns, sorry, the Broncos in. And in this case, I honestly think every single one of these teams in the West, when they play each other, can split the series all the way through. Kansas and the Chargers, 1-1. Vegas and the Broncos, 1-1. Do that all the way through, at best, because you cannot tell me in this division that someone's going to go 2-0. You can think that they're going to, but to say that it's actually going to happen is probably not going to happen. It is more probable than not. I think everybody can also agree with that. You split that here, Denver loses that last game against Kansas City at the end of the season, which knocks them out because Cincinnati gets the win at the end of the season, giving them that extra win. Denver's laid up for half of the season. Everyone's going to be loving Denver for the entirety up until about week 10, even week 8 here, that I'm saying. And that's where it's going to start coming down. Let me see what we got here. Good luck to all the offense and defenses playing the Bucs. Health is the big question. I agree 1,000%. Christopher Cole. Now let me go see. Sean Spencer says 5-12. What? I pre-warned everyone in the group chat. I'm just trying to do my job here as a good analyst. And this is what I honestly think. We got a lot to discuss after the show. Too much to say in the comment section. We done, Andrew. See, I knew my hate was coming. Colin Walsh. Eagles 7-10 is a hard disagreement. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith on offense, along with Dallas Goedert. Good defense and a bad division. Now, you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. My thing about that is, and I may be on the only one that doesn't agree with it. Just hear me out. I think the Giants are good enough to start stealing a couple of games off of good teams. And one of them is obviously going to be Philadelphia. And I agree with you. Philadelphia is a damn good looking team. I am not necessarily sold on the whole Jalen Hurts project just yet in that system. Jalen Hurts is one hell of a good quarterback. And Jalen Hurts is going to probably eventually go to a different team and be a better quarterback than what he is for the Philadelphia Eagles. But if the Philadelphia Eagles were sold on Jalen Hurts going forward, they would not have been in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. That's all I'm saying. Philadelphia is obviously not sold on Jalen Hurts, and I think that can start to affect some things in-house. Same thing with here in Miami. And those two teams start to become the weird ones in the offseason, where you start looking at the possible quarterback situations of like a Aaron Rodgers or another elite quarterback that starts to become available that we have not thought about. Hashtag normalize whiteboard love. There's your hashtag. Thank you very much. Is that Broncos-Jags game in London? I'm not too sure. I'd have to double check it, but let me know if it is. Doug Peterson will get some wins, but I'm going to say 6-11 for the season. Fair enough. Fair enough. By the way, everyone, Edge for Bear watches more game film than Kyler Murray. I appreciate that 1,000%. I mean, it might actually be true. I'm just saying. Ben Cornett, stop it. Hashtag Kyler Murray homework assignments. I'm loving it. Christopher Cole, Dolphins will choke like always. I agree, but I think it's going to be a sexy sell for some of those free agents out there, man. Like some of those quarterbacks out there, like an Aaron Rodgers, or if one of those other guys starts to become available, that's where I start to see it become like really, really intriguing. So I would look out for that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, show your love for the hottest damn band in central U.S., Kansas, and the City Chiefs. Hashtag boob flubs. I know there's so much going on today. I'm mixing up my words, but I love it. I love it. It's good to see every single one of you in the comments section. Drop that like button. We are getting close to the mock draft here, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to be having 2 guests on the show before I'm done this or whatever, however it goes. See, I'm losing my words already. With a nice round of applause for everyone's least favorite opening act, the Jalen Hurts project. Ooh. Kate, Alyssa says, I am liking what I see for the Lions so far. I am too, but I'm going to get to that here in a second because I have to lock in a couple of things. Yes, the Broncos and Jags game is in London week 8. Okay, thank you very much, Delilah. That would be one hell of a steal for their fan base. Obviously, we call them like the London, the London Jaguars. That would be the kind of thing that would really, really, really start to spark that fan base, in my opinion. Now, this playoff thing everybody's talking about. What does it look like? What are the matchups? I got the Buffalo Bills being the first overall seed in the AFC. I got the Dallas Cowboys being the first overall seed in the NFC. To top all that off, let me get it over here. To top that off, I got Indianapolis Colts being the fourth seed. Actually, let me go in order. Baltimore second. The Chargers third. Colts fourth. Chiefs fifth, Raiders sixth, and getting in with the last one is the Cincinnati Bengals at 7. And on the other side, I got number 1 Dallas, number 2 Green Bay Packers. I got number 3 being the LA Rams, number 4 the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, number 5 the Arizona Cardinals, number 6 the San Francisco 49ers, and making it into the wild card at 8 and 9 the Minnesota Vikings. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what I got right now. Now check this out. These are what the matchups would be. Buffalo gets the bye in the AFC. Indy and Kansas City play in the first round. Ooh, come on. Tell me you don't like that. Second, Los Angeles Chargers versus the Las Vegas Raiders at SoFi Stadium. Are you fucking with me? Then all of a sudden, to top it all off, the Battle of the North. Baltimore hosts Cincinnati, which, by the way, I have as one of my big games, Cincinnati beating Baltimore at home in the regular season. And that's what starts getting Joe Burrow's momentum up for the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. And then to the AFC, I got Tampa Bay taking on the Arizona Cardinals in the first round. 4th versus 5, obviously. The LA Rams at 3 taking on the San Francisco 49ers. A battle of, obviously, your NFC West. And then, of course, the battle of the NFC North that just so happens to happen. Green Bay versus Minnesota. Are you? What? Come on. This right here is what the NFL would be like for. This is what they want. This is rivalry games right here. Heck yeah. What did I do? Oh, it's the Chargers. They fell. Put them back up there. There we go. So I got, check this out. I got Kansas City beating the Colts. I got the Raiders beating the Chargers. And I also got Cincinnati beating Baltimore again to make it Buffalo versus Cincy, where Buffalo takes it. Kansas City versus the Raiders, where the Raiders take it. And then Buffalo versus the Raiders, where Buffalo goes on to the Super Bowl. Who do they play? Tampa beats Arizona. The Rams beat San Fran, and Green Bay walks Minnesota. And then you go to the second round, Dallas and Tampa Bay. Dallas hosts Tampa Bay, and they get whooped. Whooped. Just saying. By the way, LA Rams and Green Bay becomes one of the highest ever scoring playoff games of all time. Calling it right now if it happens. But I'm still going the Rams. Tampa Bay versus the Rams. It is a rematch. But looking at all these injuries right now, Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans, you know I'm going to bet on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But for the show, just in case, so I can get them clicks and them views, the LA Rams do it again because Todd Bowles pulls a zero blitz right at the end. We can't do it. I'm sorry. LA Rams go on to take the Buffalo Bills in Arizona, where the Buffalo Bills, with 2 seconds to go, from the 46-yard line, have to kick a field goal, and they do it. And the Buffalo Bills finally get their Super Bowl. Can I get a hell yeah? Oh, and by the way, Super Bowl MVP, Gabriel Davis will probably catch like 7 touchdowns. The awards that year, Tom Brady's going to throw for 5,600 yards, and I'm calling it right now. Can I get a hell yeah? Can I get a hell yeah? Offensive player of the year, though, Jamar Chase. Let's be realistic here. Joe Burrow and him going to have another great year. But this is where I'm going to have a little bit of fun. Defensive player of the year, Von fucking Miller. Think about the situations he's here in with Buffalo, guys. Think about it. This guy can eat. He can finally show off what he can do. Head coach of the year, I'm giving to Sean McDermott. He doesn't need Brian Daboll, but Brian Daboll's going to do something with the Giants. I'm going to tell you that right now. And your rookie of the year, I'm going to call this right now. And this ain't just because he's eventually going to be on this show. I'm saying it right now. Wide receiver George Pickens. Wide receiver George Pickens from the Pittsburgh Steelers is going to be your rookie of the year. Can I get a hell yeah in the comment section for that? Sid, I know you're out there. Jose, I know you're out there too. And yes, I went a little 5 minutes over. This right here is the draft picks that I got. Right now, I got 5 quarterbacks going in order, with it being Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, Tanner McKee, and Dennis Leary. No, his name is not actually Dennis Leary. It's like maybe it is Dennis Leary. I have to double check that. But that is what I'm calling. And my 3 big takeaways of the year. Team with the losing record will obviously get in. New York Jets are going to sweep the Patriots. I'm going to call that one right now. And also, Denver misses the playoffs. Those are the big 3 takeaways that I am locking in. Tell me what you think about them. Tell me what you think about them in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think. All right. Before I get our first guest on here, I'm going to take a commercial so I can set all this up perfectly the way that I want it, ladies and gentlemen. So here comes the first commercial. Be right back with some more stuff from NSD. gentlemen, what I do is all for you and only for you because that's what I do. I do Scooby-Doo-Doo. I don't know what else to say. Sid Swinton's about to be on here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get his intro on so you could all find out exactly where to find this beautiful soul. Let's start it off with Sid Swinton joining us for Mock Draft 3.0. Hello, Sid. Oh, you're muted. Look at you. He doesn't even want to yell at me because he already knows how bad his Steelers are.
You deserve a silent treatment after that horrendous prediction.
What do you mean horrendous prediction?
Yeah, was that 6-11?
Yeah.
You realize Meg Tomlin, in his 15-year career, has never gone below 500.
You know what? That's okay. Fair enough. I'll give you that. Let me get to a couple of these quick here. Your wife says, let's go. Ben Cornett says, thanks, Delilah. How much did Ashton and David pay you? Nothing. We got paid nothing. Hey, that might not be a bad idea. The Jags, sponsored by Jaguars. Hey, with a throwback Austin Powers commercial or two. Book it. They're going to have to do someone else besides Mr. Michael Myers, which I think might, I would go for that role, baby. Just saying. Yeah. A couple more comments here, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew is my new favorite person. No, my wife apparently is your new favorite person, as is said from group chats and stuff like that. So don't even try that. When's the surprise guest? Oh, that's all I wanted to see. Sid, you've been in the back. You probably see who it is and stuff like that. No, you don't see? Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring you back to a time here for a second. If you don't see what I just edited the show to what it actually is about to be, let me introduce you to the other host of North Sports Dynasty, Alex Loosemore. Back from the dead to join us for a bit. Oh, he froze. At
least I had video on mine.
It's in classic fashion as well. Yes. If anybody knows this from back in the day, that's the way it always has been when he tried to get on the show. Oh, my God. Oh, I love this man to death. He is going to be right back. He is obviously laughing his ass off right now. Let me get to a couple more of these comments. These would be some awesome games, right? When's the special guest? Hey man. I brought him on. Better be Tom Brady, LOL. Detroit Lions be over 500 this season. Well, let's get the guy back in here himself. One more time. Let's do this properly. Mr. Alex fucking Loosemore. Back in the fashion I always knew it was gonna happen.
I was just sitting there like, please don't cut out, and then it cut out. I was just like, I was screaming over here. I was like,
and it's funny. I was just saying before you got back in, this is just what happened when you were hosting this with me back in the days. Sometimes you would freeze.
Yeah, I was about to start throwing things. I was close.
So for anybody who does not know, Mr. Alex Loosemore from the NFL edition on Bucs Report, old host with me, co-host, and still 49.9% owner of NSD. Alex Loosemore, how the hell are you doing, buddy?
Oh, doing better now that I'm actually on. Excited to be back, working with you again. We got a lot to discuss. There's
Yeah.
a lot with that.
Yeah.
I will say I'm on Sid's side with the Steelers. I think they're a little bit better than that.
Get out of here. You know what? Let's save that for a little bit.
Yeah.
We got ourselves a little bit of a draft that we're doing here, which I am going to start. I'm just going to put it on here for us in the background, and I'll share it for us now for the fans to see. Let me see if I'm doing this one properly. I like that one actually better. There we go. So it can block a little bit of the picks that I have. Alex got to choose our picks for the day. I figured that would only be nice since, he is the obvious major special guest that we had here. And if anybody can see in the edited version of what the show is now, it is featuring him and it's got his whole thing on there. Obviously not to overshadow Sid being here from Squid Games.
Sure enough.
Squid cards. There we go. Squid card rips, which, by the way, I got to send you a link for another one of these card ripping places that you're going to like here, Sid. So let's get it started for everybody out there. Sid, tell us with the first overall pick in a redraft situation, since we got a lot of people in here, especially some of our ladies who are going to be doing their own ladies fantasy draft here soon. I am maybe coaching one of them, so if they're out there watching, wink, wink, this is for you. I got you. But we also got some special ways that we're going to be doing things tonight. Obviously, Alex is a NSD god here. Every time we've done these rankings these mock drafts, he tends to either get more right than I do. He makes himself gets one more right. I got 7. He gets 8. That makes him an analyst. That makes me a freaking beat writer. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. But Alex is very, very good at doing these mock drafts as well. So that's why I wanted him to get his pick, and he gets to pick where we pick, because Alex knows where I pick the best, and he also knows where I pick the worst. And so I rushed in to make sure that Sid can have pick number 1 so I can have the end of the pick, because at least I get the worst or the second worst of the 2. So with that being said, Sid, tell us who you're taking with the first overall pick. Please and thank you.
I'll take that guy.
I was wondering.
All day, every day, twice on Sundays. Najee Harris, plenty of reasons. Mainly because you think the Steelers are going 6-10, which means we're not going to have a good offense because we have a great defense. So you can't argue against that. So that means we're going to be a terrible offense, meaning probably you're blaming our quarterback, which means everything's going to go through Najee.
Yeah.
Najee can handle the load. He said he would carry it 500 times if he needed to this season. He is locked in. He is not going to wear a visor this year because he said he wants to look motherfuckers in the eyes. That was his interview.
Awesome. I love that.
This man is coming for blood. He is the size of Derrick Henry. He catches the ball better than anybody, or as good as anybody. I'm not going to say better than anybody in the league, but he's going to have 80 catches. He's going to have 12 to 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns. I mean, all day, every day, twice on Sundays.
All right. That's what I figured. Jonathan Taylor goes right after Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry. Before we get to Alex, I just want to catch up on a couple of comments here because we got a lot of people tuning in tonight. It's almost as if a lot of people were guesstimating at who this special guest was going to be. And they started to maybe sniff towards the, when the show was starting up here, who it might have actually been. I never told anybody, though, by the way. I just know that people would probably be like, I bet, is it Alex? Or is it Kim? But I bet you it's Alex. No, it's probably not. It's not Kim. No, it's Alex. It's Kim. No, it's Alex. Delano says Sean McVay has said Stafford is still dealing with elbow issues. It could affect things. He said it's an odd injury too because they can't heal it, only treat it. Ooh, something to keep an eye out there. Kate Alyssa also says hell yeah. Christopher Cole says hell yeah. Ash Swinton says wow. Why do you do that? Because I do that. Obviously, Tampa Bay would beat Dallas in the playoffs. You can beat me in the first game of the season, have your regular season trophies like the New Orleans Saints do every year. Sorry, just saying. Zagnif Productions, I've seen footage of #GPick going slap off in training camp. If he stays healthy, he's going to show all the way out. Amen. Yeah. Let's see it. Shelby's like, where's that? Shelby was only here for one person and one person only. Like, yeah, where the fuck is Alex? Ash is laughing. Sid Swinton, get him. Yeah, but look what the Cowboys are at, Sid. I mean, you guys can argue about that after here, all right? Let's get 6-11 Steelers, 5-10 Washington. Say what? Yes, And you know what? This will be probably the last time I get invited to anything on Let's Talk Football. So it's a good thing we got a lot of viewers going on right now. So last time I have that type of viewership. I love you, Sean. Love you all from LTF. But let's get back to Mr. Loosemore. You're sitting there and you decided to take the 5th pick, which I kind of figured you would take pick either between like 4 and 7. So I know you do well. I know what picks you like to have. You like to have either one of your top running backs or your choice at one of the top wide receivers. So which one of those are you actually looking towards tonight?
Well, to me, with the number 5 spot, there was 4 players I was looking at. I'm still skittish on taking McCaffrey as that first running back. So to me, it was Najee, Jonathan Taylor, Henry, or Eckler. And obviously Eckler's the last one sitting there, so that's where I'm going. I think him with Herbert and that passing threat out of the backfield, I think it's too much to pass up on.
I was going to say here, Delilah also says, oh my God, to that little bit of a moment that we were having there with the what? Oh no, Alex, we got up to the comment section where I
was here but not here.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, he's just patiently waiting. And then I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
But what a great dude. I cannot ask for like the greatest intro. I'm going to clip both of those too, because those both were absolutely fantastic. And then obviously Shelby, someone tag me with a special guest here. Please, thank you. I'm in love with that intro. Thank you.
Yeah, that's an awesome intro.
I listen, it took me a little bit. I was like, I got to do something for him while he comes on here. Like, I can't just be like, hey, everybody, Alex Loosemore, and then you pop on and be like, hi, buddy, right? If I got like intros for Sid and intro for like Let's Talk Football and everybody else is like, well, I'm going to kind of feel like a jerk if I don't do that for him. So,
I mean, it was kind of a last minute thing as well, so I would have understood.
Yeah, I still got you. Fred Swayze says 20-0, baby. Let's go. That's what that's what I like to hear. Ben Cornette says, Alex, you're underage, no beer allowed, sir. What are you talking about? I mean, listen, I even said it there on the NFL edition last night. I will be the one driving around this man's intoxicated ass when he actually wins the Super Bowl with the Detroit Lions. Now, speaking of Super Bowl, we got a trophy going on here in our league. For the first time ever, we were actually going to be buying one, probably in both leagues, the one that just started up and the one that's been going on now for 3 years, which I'm actually quite surprised. Yeah. So if you're out there, you love Dynasty, you love fantasy, you love what we're doing, give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow, and let us know what we are doing that you like, and let us know what you don't like. If you don't like me yelling at you, I'm really sorry. I can talk quieter, but it's going to kind of be hard if I just like stand here like this. And not really. It
also takes a whole different trail to the show. So.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously Alex is really good at this. Sid is very damn good at this because he's also doing a fantasy show on Let's Talk Football that you can see every Sunday morning to get you ready for the games going to be coming up here very, very soon. So all three of us are kind of like, happy and, this is all fun and stuff like that, but we're very competitive. Yeah. And so I'm looking at what these guys have got, and they got their top running backs. I'm looking at the board. There's still a couple there that intrigue me. Obviously, the Nick Chubb and Aaron Jones are the last ones out of that tier that I would take. And because of what's going on in Cleveland this year, I am for sure going to at least get one of those top tier running backs and ensure myself the Cleveland backfield. But I don't know what wide receiver I want. Because a lot of people obviously like Devontae Adams, as do I. But I also absolutely adore what Deebo Samuel could possibly bring for Trey Lance's development. And the fact that he's also a running back. They've said that. He's a scat back. Devontae Adams doesn't have that. If anything, he's got Hunter Renfrow to take receptions from him. Hell, my prediction for Super Bowl MVP is Gabriel Davis. That means he's going to be taking production away from Stephon Diggs. And don't even get me started on CeeDee Lamb, Ash. If you're out there, I don't even want to hear it right now. To me, only because he's got a little bit of a running ability and because I get both. Obviously, there's a little bit of the injury risk, but I think that's kind of over and done with, especially in the way that Kyle Shanahan, you can calm him down, I guess you would say, in the system. A lot of people would say, you just get your number one overall with Devontae Adams here, but I love the running back ability. Give me Deebo, and I will call it a day. Travis Kelce, Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb right after that. They wowed us because Team 8 decided to go with the first quarterback off the board. Alex is sitting there. He now has the pick. He gets to go and pick in about another 8 picks after that. Obviously, after Sid makes 2, it'll still be a little bit of time before you get the pick. But what are you thinking here with none of the running backs being touched after I took mine, but a lot of tight ends being taken and 1 quarterback? So what are you thinking here?
I'm definitely looking at the running back, seeing as some of those guys are still here. To me, I'm looking at Aaron Jones, Javonte Williams, and Leonard Fournette are the 3 I'm kind of eyeing right now. Aaron Jones worries me. I think A.J. Dillon's going to steal quite a few of those carries, especially later in the season. I think he's going to kind of take over that lead role.
Say that louder for the people in the back. Ash.
Yeah.
You hear what he said? Listen.
So I'm going to push him off. And to me, I'm going to go with Javonte because I think they'll run the ball a little bit more than obviously what Tampa will do.
Ooh. All right, so Sid will be up here next after Alex is taking Javonte Williams. Aaron Jones is taking Tyreek Hill, finally gone. And Alvin Kamara, team 2, just saying, give it to me just in case. Not giving him the ability to finally take Alvin Kamara. But Sid, you get double picks here, buddy. So what are you thinking, my friend?
This is tough because most of the running backs that I would like to take are gone. So, and I'm usually get your top 2 running backs in the first 2 rounds guy, just because it's such a fall off from the top guys. But being the number 1 overall pick, there's so many running backs that go before you get back to me. So it's tough. There are a few running backs I like on my next turnaround. So I think I'm gonna wait until then. So to boost that, I'm gonna try and get top tier talent in other positions that normally I wouldn't do. So I am gonna actually grab my quarterback right now, which is something I usually don't do until later rounds. This is I'm only doing it because I have the first pick. I want to be able to get an advantage in one position that I wouldn't normally get because I don't want to reach for a running back when that's necessary. So I'm going to go Herbert because I think he's absolutely going to go bananas here this year. His roster is so good. Their defense is good. I just like them all around.
So before you make your next pick, though, Alex, if Herbert would have fallen to you there in the 3rd round, were you taking Herbert?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Just wanted to make sure. So for all the people out there, that is what the value is of Justin Herbert right now when you're looking at the tail end here when you get these 2 picks. Just to let you all know that. So, Sid, what are you doing with your next pick?
So since I'm not doing running back right now, and I'm trying to get high end value out of other positions that I'm not going to get later in rounds, I love a quarterback wide receiver stack. So getting the double points if you think your quarterback's really good, getting their number 1 weapon if you can is always a good move in my opinion. I just love the double points when it comes to that. Obviously it sucks when it comes to a bye week, but I never look at bye weeks. Just something that I personally don't do, especially in a redraft league. Just the way it goes, you can find plenty of people on waiver wires, and there's a lot of moving pieces during the season. So I never look at bye weeks. So because the number 1 option for Los Angeles Chargers is Keenan Allen, and he's available. That is who I'm going.
Ooh, he gets the stack. I like that.
I like it.
So then all of a sudden, Shaquan Barkley and Ezekiel Elliott, kind of those wide receiver, those running backs that everybody's a little on. Sorry to say it, Ash. Everybody doesn't know what's going to happen in Dallas this year. So
it's going to be the same thing with Green Bay.
Yeah.
Pollard's taking those carries late.
Yeah. And then Team 4 decides to take Mike Evans right before Alex. We knew that he wasn't going to take Mike Evans because Mr. Hamstring season has decided to pop up, apparently. I hate that word.
Yeah.
But what are you doing here? There's a couple of picks that I could see you definitely taking, but what are you looking towards now, my friend?
I'm looking at what we've got in receiver here, and receiver's still pretty deep overall, which is kind of enticing me to go elsewhere. And I had 2 guys I was looking at last round after I pushed Aaron Jones away, and one of them is still here. I'm going to get my 3rd running back, and I'm going to go Leonard Fournette.
Damn, look at that stack of running backs that he's got for this year. Now, a lot of people would say, well, what about running backs? Or what about wide receivers? Listen, this is a redraft. He can afford to do this right now and still get top tier wide receivers later on in the draft. Okay. This is where it would become really fun to see exactly what he does past here because Kyle Pitts is gone, AJ Brown, James Conner, Patrick Mahomes being the third quarterback, Cam Akers, Terry McLaurin, leaving me with some decisions now. I mean, a couple people see some of the picks that are up there. T. Higgins, David Montgomery, George Kittle, Darren Waller. I like all those. I really, really do. Obviously, David Montgomery is one of my favorite running backs, and I'm debating him very, very heavily. But I'm going to get my other wide receiver right off the bat before I start debating that. And I am going to go with the number one wide receiver in Indianapolis, where nobody's going to take any possessions away from him, not even Alec Pierce, not even Paris Campbell. I don't care what people say. Michael Pittman is the man. Give me the two number ones, with the Debo and the Michael Pittman now. As much as I want David Montgomery, as much as I would love nothing more than to have George Kittle, I don't like having two players right off the bat in the first 5 rounds of the same team, unless I absolutely have to. But the one player that I've never been able to have, and everybody's starting to get higher on, it's because he was drafted to be the number one running back for a reason, even though they had a couple in there. And everybody knew in this offseason that they were going to be one of 4 teams to go and get either Isaiah Spiller or this guy. The Jets with Breece Hall and that backfield and the way that he's been catching and the way he's been looking in camp looks too intriguing to pass up. I am going to have Nick Chubb and Breece Hall going forward as my 2 1 and 2 backs to start up my draft here. And right after that, T. Higgins, Deontay Johnson, David Montgomery, Darren Waller, Jalen Waddle, Antonio Gibson went a little higher than I actually thought he would. Now, look at Alex has still got number one wide receivers there on the board, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
So let's see exactly what he's going to do here. But first, before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to a quick commercial. We'll be right back with a little bit of mock draft from North Sports Dynasty. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to North Sports Dynasty. I am your host, Andrew Faubert. That used to be my co-host. He's over there. He's going to be back here soon. We got surprises coming for you later on.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, one of the other fantasy football members out there in our little family of shows, and Let's Talk Football, is Sid Swinton at Squid Games. Squid Rips. Squid Games. Squid Games? Squid Rips. Squid Rips.
Squid Rips cards. You got it. Squid Games. It's cool.
I keep calling it Squid Games. I'm going to not get it right now. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna get hate mail from your wife, and I'm so sorry.
No.
Anyways,
she's probably laughing.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, like and share and follow for more content that you see here. Just wanted to say shout out to everybody tuning in. Cannot wait to see what goes on here after I wanted to see where the heck we were at for the comments. There it is. Andrew, you better not be. Kate Alyssa says thank you. And she winks. That's not telling who I might be coaching at all. It's not her. Anyway, Ashwin says shocking. Henry is better. At the time, I agree. Which one of you guys is going to take the leap of faith and draft that guy in Cleveland? That's going to be an interesting one to see. Sean Spencer is laughing at us. I like for you to have more energy, Andrew. My kids are trying to sleep, man. Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to get hate mail from my wife? Come on now. Kate Alyssa says you are my spirit animal, Andrew. Thank you so much. I felt like I was a spirit animal this weekend for sure. That scared me because I was a little intoxicated. As a few people got from my messages that I was saying. I didn't want to message too many people either. I didn't want to go into too many chats and just be like, but I held off. Also, if you got any comments that you need to make about fantasy football, whether it be dynasty, redraft, keeper, though keeper, I'm not going to lie. I'm just starting to study up on here about the trade values and all that kind of stuff. But dynasty is obviously the name of the game here at North Sports Dynasty. If you got any questions, just use the hashtag North Sports Dynasty in the comment section, and we will get your question answered ASAP. Les yeux, they her. Anyway, good. Let Zeke fall to me. You'll probably get Zeke in like the third and fourth round every single time. Alex Schomber says, good pick. One of the quarter hosts of the NFL edition, live on Bucs Report every Friday at 7:30 or 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, 7:30 Mountain time. That would mean 8:30 p.m. Central time. Damn, I'm good. Can you feel it? Oh, can you feel it, Captain Compost?
And I will kind of put a little star beside that and say, if we have our shit together on time. Because there's a lot of times where it's like 5-10 minutes late, and it's just like we're just rounding up the last little bit of things. So
listen, I'm starting to kind of do the same thing. Everyone's like, why are you going like early 3 minutes early? And I'm like, well, so that when people pop in right off the bat, and I got my 4 minutes of sharing and you're hearing the metal song, at least if you want to pop in and hear the metal song and be first in the comment section, as Sid was this week, there he was, that's what you got to do. And I'm going to try and get so many different songs that I could possibly get. So shout out again to Isolate Peaks. I'll drop that down here in a second as well. First off, I'm going to be scoring a lot of touchdowns for the Colts.
When you said Alec Pierce.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. I was like, wait, what? And like, I didn't smoke that much before the show here. So, no one has Jamar Chase. Listen, he was gone. He was the second wide receiver. Alex and Sid had the choice to take him. I didn't even sniff that opportunity. Him and Jettas normally do. Who does she mean by Jettas again?
Justin Jefferson.
Jay Jettas. That's his nickname, Jay Jettas.
I was so confused there for a second. I'm like, Jesus. Chase went round one. Him and Jet. Okay, yeah, there we go. Alex is the most amazing college football host. There you go.
Yeah, we're starting Let's Talk college football in a couple weeks here.
You only say that because you're Michigan fans and you're winning.
It's a great time to be a Michigan fan.
It's a shitty time to be a Gators fan. And Sid, you're an Iowa fan, if I'm not mistaken.
That's my wife.
That's okay. And you are then
Sun Devil, ASU.
Hey, there we go. Ash is laughing at you there. No hate from Kim. I'm trying to be friends. This is fair. And I appreciate it. Okay, this is giving me Pat McAfee vibes. Hey, I appreciate that. That's I like that. I like that. Hey, here we go. we got Alex. I need you to rip your sleeves off right now. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, let's get back to the draft here, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you all being here. We're going to be talking Lions right after this with Sid. So, Sid, obviously, this is the surprise team that you had to prepare for, and I'm sorry.
I'm ready.
I kind of figured you would be. So, Loosey Goosey, Mr. Alex Loosemore, is up here in the fourth round. No wide receivers. I gave the commercial. We got the plug in. Let's get back to it. What are you picking here, my friend?
I'm looking at those receivers, and there's still a lot available. And I don't know who I want to pick. So I'm going to lock in my quarterback. I'm going Joe Burrow.
Ooh, I like that. Getting his quarterback right off the bat. And then that's going to mean the Kittle machine goes right after that. Travis Etienne and DK Metcalf. Getting the double picks then. Sid, you're up. You've got your quarterback. You got your running back. You got a wide receiver. You can really go anywhere besides, doubling up on a quarterback right now. I think that would be a little ridiculous, but you can basically go
defense,
yeah, just that kind of stuff. Where are you thinking of doing, or what are you thinking of doing right now?
So I'm looking at, obviously I'm not going to go quarterback, not going to go receiver because receiver is deep. So I need my running backs. So I'm definitely going back-to-back running back here. The question is who? I got a couple that I like. I think the Ravens are going to be a very run-heavy team. Seeing J.K. Dobbins there, I think he's absolutely a stud. But I'm not going to take him. The injury is just a little too questionable for me right now. They're going to do a lot with him, but being that I need him to be like my number 2 back, I am going to steer clear. I'm going to go to another person that is in a very run-heavy offense that I think is going to get a lot of the work again. Last year, he was the stud there. I'm going to go Eli Mitchell to get my number 2 running back, and then I'm going to go right back to a running back again, and it's going to be the guy that Alex mentioned is going to be the number 1 halfway through the season, And I also agree, even if he's not the number one early, he is going to dominate the goal line touches because his quads match his Twitter handle, and it is Quadzilla. I'm taking A.J. Dillon as my third running back.
Great.
Nice. Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Amari Cooper right after that. Sid's team right now has got 3 running backs, a quarterback, and a wide receiver. Alex's team's got 3 running backs, a quarterback, no wide receiver. Is this where you finally grab a wide receiver, Alex?
Yes. I'm looking here. There's a couple I got my eye on.
Okay.
I don't know how much I trust this first guy's quarterback. Mostly because, I feel it's going one way, but I'm not entirely sure that Baker Mayfield will be the starting quarterback.
Ooh, I
think it's leaning that way.
I like this.
DJ Moore kind of worries me a little bit just based on who's throwing on the ball. So I'm going to go a guy that's realistically a number 2, but he's in an extremely pass-heavy offense. He's been balling out play after play after play in camp in Los Angeles right now. I'm going Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson.
I like it
That's a good pick, actually.
I think he's going to have a great year.
Yeah.
Especially coming at the Rams are going to have one hell of an offense this year.
Yeah.
I do not care what anybody says. Even if it's Odell Beckham Jr. comes back later on, or anything else like that, they're just going to be one stack team. We all know what Cooper Kupp's going to do. So, Ash also says, get with the lingo. Great plug, Alex Loosemore. LTCF coming soon.
Yeah.
Fred Swayze Moore says Huskers.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
You got a Nebraska fan.
Yeah. Tar Heels.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Everybody's representing their teams and college teams. Everybody drop down to college teams in the comment section. I want to see all those college teams out there tonight. We got Tar Heels. We got Huskers. I'm obviously a Gator. Sid said
Sun Devils.
Yes,
there we go. The Sun Devils. And then Alex has got the Michigan State. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I know. Michigan Wolverines.
Go green.
Yeah. Don't do that to him. I used to do it to him all the time.
You know what? There's one week where I'm against that. Otherwise, I don't actually mind Michigan State. So the hate goes towards the team down south. So
yeah. Everybody hates that team down south. I agree.
OH.
Oh,
my bad.
I officially hate both of you.
Alex Schauber says, did anyone get that future RB Rashad White?
Not yet. Early.
Not yet. If this was like a Dynasty, say, startup, he would start to kind of pop in here. Alex has Leonard Fournette, so probably next round he would actually probably start considering him, or the round after, depending on what he's actually looking to do as a startup dynasty. But in a redraft, I'm going to get Lenny first, and then Rashad's probably going to be available in the 11th to 14th round. So a little too early, but you're on the right idea for, say, Alex there for getting his handcuff. Kate Alyssa says, Mr. Smoky Smooth. Yeah. Christopher Cole says Julio Jones will be a sleeper. I agree. We also got, I can get this right. That's Shiloh. We got Shiloh making an appearance tonight. The Pittsburgh Steelers' very own young fan, Shiloh.
And Ash officially hates you.
Ash has officially unsubscribed and unfollowed and stuff like that from the show for that kind of nonsense. I saw that. Oh my God, not Dylan again. But Shiloh wanted to say hi to everybody, and I appreciate Shiloh coming in and stuff like that. Let's go Cougs BYU, baby. Justin O'Connor, thank you for tuning in. That's great to see more new people tuning in. I like that. Christopher Cole says USF Bulls. Yeah, look at that. Everybody's all over Florida too. I like that. It's great to be Michigan Wolverines.
No.
Go green, go white for Sean Spencer, even though that's not his team. We know that.
I'm trying to get to that game this year.
That would be a great game.
Oh,
that would be a cool game to go to.
That would be a really good game. Though when we're down in Detroit 2024, I don't care how far it takes to get to that Michigan stadium. I want to go see that stadium.
It's not that far.
Boom. Yeah, see, we're good. Schomber says, I knew Alex had some love for the Bucs. Alex always had love for the Bucs. He works for Bucs Report now. Come on now. Insert sad Oregon Duck face logo. The Ducks will come back and have their reign. Don't worry. Speaking of rain,
they just lost Cristobal, so I don't know. But...
Well, okay, fair enough. Speaking of rain, I'm going to make it rain because it's my pick again, and I am finally getting a tight end. I'm finally doing it. But before I get my tight end, I want to have a number one option at wide receiver. I just want to have the only damn option in-house again. Kind of like the Michael Pittman situation, but a little bit better. Someone that nobody really thinks of. And no, it's not going to be Darnell Mooney that everybody thinks I'm going to pick because
that's exactly who I thought was going to be.
Exactly. Everybody knew I was going to pick Darnell Mooney and stuff like that. No.
Oh, I think I know where you're going now.
The other number one guy that I want is going to be on a team that may have to pick in the top 5, but they are still going to put up some points on that offense because when you play it from Stanford as a quarterback, you love speedsters, and that means Mr. Brandon Cooks from Houston
is going to be the biggest Houston fan I've ever met in my life.
Ask him about his Houston predictions from the last couple of years.
Oh, no. I heard. Put me through that hell. Brandon Cooks I'm going to take this year just because I like how many options he is going to see with a really crappy team altogether that still needs a few more picks. Derek Stingley will probably be able to develop really nicely because he's got a cover in the camp. And now, of course, I'm going to grab my tight end. The two that you see there on the board are obviously the two that I want. Looking at the other ones after that, they all kind of fall off that tier base. Schultz and Mr. Hawkinson will see a lot of targets because there is only two other options in either the wide receiving game or the running back game on their teams respectively. I actually would like to go with Dalton Schultz this year because they have lost two wide receivers and because Blake Jarwin isn't necessarily there anymore. And whether they have drafted it properly or not, I think that Dak really has shown that he loves the tight end. Phrasing, of course, I'm going to go with Dalton Schultz, knowing that I'm not getting one of those top-tier tight ends to fall to me anyway.
That's the better of the two picks, by the way, because with the Lions camp, the receivers have been stepping up a lot, and Goff has been going to Reynolds and Chark and St. Brown a little bit more than it was expected. So, and of course, St. Brown goes literally to pick before me when that was my plan.
I was just gonna say, and then the guy that I knew was gonna either fall, I thought was gonna fall to you instead,
right before him.
Yeah, I think Darnell Mooney is gone. Godwin,
talking about Amon-Ra.
Oh, he's talking about Amon-Ra. I'm talking about Mooney. I knew one of those two was gonna be. I thought was gonna be available for you guys, but.
I thought one of them was there for me too, and I was set on either one of them, and now I have to go back to the drawing board.
Sleeper had other plans. So Alex is obviously sitting there with three running backs. He's got Bro and he's got Robinson. He's sitting there in the 6th round. This is where you can start throwing ADB kind of out the window and kind of go for what you would want because wide receivers are plentiful and running backs are hit and miss kind of from this point on. So what are you thinking, Mr. Alex Loosemore?
I'm looking at running backs, and I'm looking at finally getting my starting tight end. Because like you said, that tier does drop off.
Mm-hmm.
And even though Goff is targeting the receivers a bit more, I still think it's gonna open up mismatches for Hawkinson. So I am gonna take TJ.
Hey, there you go. Like I said, it is going to start to fall off that tier base a little bit, so it is better to get it there. Sid getting some love in house here. Justin O'Connor says Najee at first. Only Sid would do that. Love it, he says. Got to get that in there. We will get rid of Anthony Brown, so that's progress. And then Ash Swinton says surprise guest Shadow. That's okay. I was like, I'm sure one of my kids is still awake right now, but I'm not. I don't know. The pretty lady is around the corner, I think. I don't know where she is. She's somewhere. Albert O will finish as a top 10, possibly top 5. And he's saying that for the tight end position. Listen, if there's one tight end that everybody is sleeping on to be in the elite category, I think that is him. I just don't want to take that in a redraft if we said had like 10 grand on this right now.
There's two I'm thinking of with that, and me and Sid agree on one of them.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well, Sid actually needs a tight end right now.
Oh,
so
and
let's
he's going to
see.
be that person we agree on is going to be picked here.
Oh, there we go.
But it's funny because, well, yeah, I'm going to sound like such a homer, but I have reasons behind all this. So I'm going with the number one option for a top 3 quarterback in the league, talent-wise. He's already won MVP, already won a Super Bowl, lost his number one receiver to the Dolphins. Juju Smith-Schuster is absolutely balling in camp. Everybody sleeps on him because they don't like that he makes TikTok videos. But Juju is an absolute stud. He's already had 1,500 yards in his career in a season. The man can absolutely ball. Don't sleep on Juju. Being able to get him this late with Patrick Mahomes throwing him the ball, he's absolutely going to ball this year. I have no problem with him being my number 2 receiver, so I'm going there first. And then, just like you guys said, I'm going to grab my tight end because I agree that there is a fall off, but you guys are sleeping on this guy so heavy. You can write down on your board back there that this guy's going to be top 5 fantasy tight end this year because once again, we have bad quarterback play. When you have bad quarterback play, who do they lean on?
Yeah.
Their running back and their tight end. That's why I'm going to have both of them on my team. I'm taking my guy, Mr. French Fries, Pat Fryermuth.
Yeah, I've got him at that like 5 or 6 tight end there. Yeah,
I like
right
that.
Where I like him at.
He's the only tight end possibly. Let me go take a quick look here. Out of the ones that are available, maybe Albert O. And oh man, if Irv Smith would just stay damn healthy, I would probably take the chances on them in that.
I do also like Dawson Knox.
I
like him.
I know everybody loves him. I have a weird suspicion that like the 4th and 5th option of wide receivers are gonna all of a sudden have these really fantasy relevant games like that Shakir guy. Like he might actually have a game here. And I think they might use OJ Howard a little bit more too, or at least try to. So
yeah, they're gonna try.
There's a reason I got rid of him in Dynasty. Like I didn't want to have 4 Buffalo Bill players going into the next season, so got rid of 2 of them for sure. Alex, you're up. What do you got as your plan next?
I'm gonna get another number 1 receiver here. I know specifically that Sid does not like the guy that's throwing this guy the ball. But I'm going to go get the number 1 receiver in Baltimore. I'm going Rashad Bateman. The fact that he's still there.
Rashad Bateman is a very good
I have a hard time passing that.
Hopkins in a 6-game suspension after that. Kenneth Walker, Gabriel Davis, Drake London, Dallas Goedert, James Cook. Some of the weird running backs, in my opinion, starting to fall off the board.
Yep.
And now it is down to me. Well, I'm looking and I'm seeing all the ones that I don't want. And this is where I would start trading out. No, I'm just kidding.
Honestly, though.
I mean, right? I do get double picks here. I look at the quarterback position. I like the Matthew Stafford thing. I know a lot of people are saying, well, he's injured. And what about Brady and Rodgers? The Derek Carr one would be nice. I want to take a look at these running backs again. There's only a couple in here that I think have any means of being the number 1. I'm going to go with Chase Edmonds.
Good pick.
Make sure that I at least have one more running back to go because I know that I can get some more wide receivers at least in some later rounds. I am going to grab my quarterback, and I am just going to say, fuck it, chug it, football. Let's have a good time this year. Tom Brady, baby. Tom Brady's going to throw 50 touchdowns, 5,600 yards, and walk off into the sunset.
Fucking chuck it football is my new favorite term.
That I have been saying that for so many years, and everybody goes to correct me. They're like, Andrew, that's not what they say in the TV or movie. And I'm like, I don't care. It's fuck it, chuck it, football. All right, Alex, you're back up. Hunter Renfrow is off the board.
Back-to-back times.
Yep.
Back-to-back times this team picked before me. They took the guy I wanted.
Yeah, team 6 is just stacking these wide receivers right now, too.
Oh, I hate that. I was just eyeing Hunter Renfrow, and he had to go right before me. So yeah, I don't know now. That's who I was set on. I don't like Treylon Burks. I don't like what I've heard all offseason since he's got to Tennessee. I don't like Elijah Moore because I don't really trust Zach Wilson.
No, Not with our moms, that's for sure.
I don't like Tyler Lockett because, yes, you get those 2 or 3 weeks of 40.
Yeah.
But you also get those 2 or 3 weeks of 0. And that was with Russell Wilson throwing the ball. Now it's Drew Lock or Geno Smith, so he's completely off my board.
1,000%.
So I'm going to hold off
Might
on
be Jimmy G.
Might be
never
Jimmy
know,
G, yeah. Running back, I'm going to get a handcuff here from a team that's going to run the ball fair bit. I'm going to get my Javonte handcuff in Melvin Gordon.
That's a smart idea. I like that. Now, Lockett, Ertz, and Moore, say the other 2 wide receiver number 1s, respectively, of course, taken off the board. But there's still plenty left. Obviously, Alan Lazard is still out there, Robert Woods, Garrett Wilson, Traylon Burks. But Sid has got maybe something up his sleeve. He's only got 2 wide receivers. He's got his 3 running backs, his quarterback, and his tight end. What are you thinking about doing now there, my friend?
I'm looking at the depth at each position. I'm definitely not going to get a backup tight end yet. There's a lot of those late that I like that you can steal late. I'm not going to get a backup quarterback just yet. The running backs here, I just don't like the value of what you're getting. There's 1 or 2 that I wouldn't mind having. I like Ramondre Stevenson overall. I think he's actually going to have that backfield by the end of the season. But I just the Patriots, man, I just don't trust them when it comes to running backs. So I think I'm going to just grab a couple receivers that I think have a chance to have a really good season, depending on quarterback play. I'm going to go this is tough. I think I'm going to go Alan Lazard because the number 1.
Oh,
I knew it.
And
He likes Alan Lazard.
Hey, Aaron Rodgers is throwing him the football.
That's right.
Where else is he going to throw it?
Yep.
And Aaron Rodgers said he was a Hall of Famer, so you got to take him.
Yeah, Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer, yeah.
Yeah. So now it's just you're kind of like, I mean, this late in the draft, you're kind of just who do you think is going to break out? There's a couple talented players that I like, and this is tough. I'm going back and forth here.
I know, same here. There's a couple I've looked at as well.
Yeah, it's like I want to reach for like a running back, or do I not want to reach for a running back? Go back for a receiver. I'm probably going to go receiver. I'm probably going to take the rookie Traylon Burks just because he's going to fill the AJ Brown hole, and they don't really have a lot of other options. I mean, Robert Woods coming off an ACL and stuff. Yeah. He should get a bulk of the targets. So even though I don't trust the quarterback that much, it's just somebody that's big-bodied should be able to go get it. And they drafted him to replace AJ Brown. So just kind of hoping for the best there, really.
Yeah, Traylon Burks and Alan Lazard go back-to-back for Sid in the 8th and 9th round, respectively. Darnell Knox, Matt Stafford, and Singletary. 2 Bills are gone. And the quarterback that Loosemore would not have taken because he already has Burrow. If it was super flex, I don't even think he would have been there at all.
Oh, yeah. Well, and if it was super flex, I would have ran to get him if he was still here, pair him with Robinson.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you got the next pick here of the 9th round. You're looking at a couple of different things, obviously, but what are you going to be going with?
I'm leaning receiver here just because I only have 2. And I like my running back depth. I'm not jumping at another quarterback yet, not jumping at another tight end yet, so that kind of just singles out receiver there. Rondale Moore is a very interesting one because for 6 weeks, he's going to be your number 1 guy there.
Yeah, he is, I guess, eh?
That one's almost too difficult to pass up.
He's
looking at some of the other names here.
He's down there in ADP as well, like 13th round.
I was like, do I try and just bury him a little bit? But no, I'm gonna get him now. I'm going Rondale Moore.
Nice. Getting the number 1 wide receiver out of Arizona quick. I like that. Bunch more fall. Man, that's a lot of wide receivers out. So
that's why I was like, I gotta take one.
Now I'm back up here, and it sucks because there is a few that are proven, but not necessarily.
Yeah.
Now I am looking at the running back situation. And it is a redraft. And if I was in this situation in a dynasty, I would take Marlon Mack and Dameon Pierce right here, but I don't even think they would be available right here.
Oh yeah, in a dynasty, yeah.
Yeah, in a dynasty. Now, they have talked about Naeem Hines being used a little bit more in that backfield. Matt Ryan does like the pass backs, and there's something there, but not necessarily right now maybe the next pick, but I got my quarterback, I got my tight end. I do like the fact that Albert O is still there. Kind of put in that flex, but I don't want to waste it when I need more wide receivers. I am going to take the possible number 1 out of Jacksonville because I need to.
We'll need a possible number 1 in the 9th round is solid.
Right? And now that's the other side I'm looking in here is there's a couple of teams, number 1 running backs in here, but where are they going to fall? And where are they going to go? So I'm going to take Ramondre just to have them. Kind of like that Chase Edmonds and Ramondre as my flex options. It falls all the way down to Alex with 1 quarterback, 4 wide receivers, and Michael Carter, the running back, being taken. Alex is back up there in the 10th round. What are we going with, Mr. Loosemore?
I'm thinking I'm going to go another receiver here.
Ooh. Start stacking some receivers here.
Yeah, it's tough, though, because, like we said, the running backs are starting to drop off.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, man, that's tough.
And by the way, every time we do these mock drafts, ladies and gentlemen, we pretend like we got 10 grand available randomly to us, and that is what we were playing with, okay? We're trying to put food on the table at a very expensive time in the world, okay? We can only do it through fantasy football.
If I'm looking at running backs, Spiller's kind of interesting. James Robinson's kind of interesting. Madison, because Cook's going to miss 4 or 5 games.
You definitely know that's going to happen.
Mack and Pierce in Houston. I could handcuff Lenny with Rashad White.
Yeah, you can start thinking of that now. They got his ADP at the 13th round as well.
I got a different idea here. I'm going to go get a guy from Sid's team and your prediction for rookie of the year on George Pickens. Like you said earlier, he's been awesome at camp so far. The fact that he's still there, I got to jump at him.
That grab that he made where it was just a simple route, they would not quit on that ball falling down.
Oh, yeah.
That there just screamed rookie of the fucking year. And it better just crown him now. Just like Najee should have been rookie of the year last year, but we don't need to get into that, do we?
Trying to tell people.
Yeah. All right, Sid, you're up here. What are you thinking of here? Because you got back-to-back picks, baby.
Yeah, I think it's time for definitely just reaching for running backs, hope for the best, because yours are going to get hurt, and you got to get somebody back up there. I really wanted James Robinson, and he went right before my pick.
Yep.
But so now I'm going to take Rashad White because I do think he has a chance to take this. Well, I don't know if he's going to take the spot, but if Cheeseburger Lenny doesn't lose the weight or if they fall off there for whatever reason, he's looked really good, and I like his chances if he gets in there. So. Yeah. And then the other guy just kind of, swinging at the fences here, trying to hope to hit a home run with running backs. I do like everything I've seen about our boy Kyle Yacy's Tyler Algier.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Especially with Cordero Patterson, I don't think is a true running back. And as soon as teams figured him out, he definitely fell off the second half of the season. He has a unique skill set, but he's not a true running back one. So I think I'm going to go Tyler Algier.
Hunter Henry, go ahead.
I was totally banking on White being here at this pick. That's why I looked away from running back.
Which is funny because I was just going to say, Alec, if you're out there, so to answer your question, literally right before the 11th round, if I had to take the over and under of where he got drafted, I would have missed out on that by a pick.
Yeah.
So Alex is available. He was going to take Rashad White there, but obviously cannot. Who are you taking now then?
I'm going back and forth on a couple running backs now. I gave up where I was going with talking about Rashad White there. I'm leaning on Marlon Mack being the guy for this season. With it being a redraft, I am going to go Marlon Mack. I liked him in Indianapolis. He just kind of got pushed out by Jonathan Taylor and a couple injuries. So I think he could be a number one running back once again.
It sucks that you can't handcuff him with Damon Pierce because he went literally 3 picks after that.
Yeah.
But I do like how one of the running backs I was looking at there around before is still available. I do want to get in my opinion, the number 2 running back or wide receiver in Dallas. I like Michael Gallup. I know a lot of people are still not sold on his injury, but not me. Give me Dallas's Michael Gallup here in the 11th round. Now,
that's great value for him.
To start the 12th round, this is where it becomes really fun because there's a lot of hidden value in this running back here.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still a lot of value in here. And that's where I'm stuck because Tim Patrick's going to see some time. Julio Jones.
Tim Patrick for his ACL.
Yeah.
Was it Tim Patrick? Or sorry, I meant KG Hamler is going to see some time.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I meant to say. Sorry. I just saw his name there. That's why I was like, what? KJ Osborne is going to see some time. Another cool one at the back here is going to be Jahan Dotson to see what he's going to do. But I already know that Jarvis Landry is going to be a target because they wouldn't be bringing him in with that big of a name without seeing at least some little bit of share in that offense. So I'm going to get Jarvis Landry and Michael Gallup just to ensure a couple of more of those wide receivers. And it falls back to Alex. What are we going with now that 2 tight ends, 2 quarterbacks, and 2 running backs came off the board right after my picks?
I'm still looking at this depth at running back and receiver here.
Mm-hmm.
And like Sid said earlier, this is kind of the time where you start to take flyers on people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do it in a different sense here. I'm going to do a guy that's going to sit for a couple months, and then he's going to work his way back in, and I think he's going to take over and be the number 1 receiver in that offense. Call me a homer. I'm going Jameson Williams.
Hey, there you go. Hey, if anybody knows what's going to be going on with the Lions, it's this guy right here, Mr. Alex Loosemore, NFL edition on Bucs Report every single Thursday night. I was going to say Friday night. I was like, no, that's tonight. Thursday nights, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Anyway, you can catch him there. He's going to be talking some Lions for you pretty damn soon, especially on this show. But there's stuff in the works, and we'll talk about that possibly in a couple of weeks here. More on NSD, so like and share and subscribe, not only to this episode, but to this channel as well. Sid, speaking of channels, owns Sid's Rips Cards. There we go.
Squid.
You'll get it right eventually.
Squid Rips Cards.
Squid Rips Cards.
Squid Rips Cards. On Instagram.
You got off the Squid Game, so we're taking a step in the right direction.
Anyways.
I got to get you a sticker so you can see the sticker.
I want the sticker literally right there so I can see it right on my memory board.
I got you.
He is up here with the next 2 picks. He just took 2 running backs in the NFC South. Now what are you going to be doing, my friend?
Now it gets interesting. Again, it's kind of like you're trying to just find value deep. There's a couple interesting ones here because the number 1 receiver for New England is on the board. The question is, who is it going to be? Is it going to be Jacoby Meyer or Devontae Parker? Everything I've seen is Devontae Parker is that guy in camp, and they're treating him as the number 1. And I think Devontae Parker is uber talented. Never had a real good quarterback in Miami, so I think I might go Devontae Parker just to see, because if he is the guy, I've been getting him in the end of the 12th round. I feel like the value is just insane. And then now it's kind of like, do you want to see if Julio has any gas in the tank? Or do we look somewhere else like Dallas has no receivers, so Jalen Tolbert might have a chance. Or
waiting for
it's
a hand
kind
to
of
come out of nowhere.
what's that?
I was like, I'm waiting for a hand to come out of nowhere.
Oh, she's back there, literally
Yeah.
going Tolbert. But man, I think those are. I also really like Sammy Watkins in Green Bay because again,
do too.
they have no options. It's like if he can stay healthy, he's very talented. So, man, this is tough. I'm just gonna do it just because you're a Bucs fan and I don't want you to take him. So I'm gonna take Julio. Because if he stays
if
healthy,
you didn't take him, I was. I wasn't letting him get to Andrew.
Come on, guys. You don't want me to have Julio.
Because I mean, could you imagine Julio healthy for a full season with Tom Brady, and I got him in the 13th round?
I mean, yeah, that would be. I mean, wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah,
that'd be fun for everybody.
And if he's throwing 5,600 yards and 50 touchdowns, I guarantee you Julio 8.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's also true. So he picks up Devontae Parker and Julio Jones there in the back end of the 12th and the beginning of the 13th. Alex is up here halfway through the 13th round. What are you looking at doing now that you have got, like, you know, Jamal Williams?
Jameson Williams.
Jameson Williams. I'm getting everyone's name
Jamal
wrong
is
here.
still on the board.
Oh, that's right. There we go. All right, what are you thinking here?
I'm looking, and to me, this is almost too hard to pass up. It's a running back that switched teams and is following a coach that knows how to use them. Raheem Mostert followed McDaniel to Miami in that offense where they're going to go running back. They're just going to carousel these running backs in and out. They all have injury problems, so they're all going to see lots of time.
Yep.
When Mostert is on, he is on. He is so quick. You can read the holes well. I like him here this late in the draft.
What a nice pick. I like that too. Raheem Mostert out of Miami. There is literally like 7 different running backs in Miami that anybody can take at this point. It's absolutely ridiculous.
They're all so good.
Speaking of ridiculous, the kickers are finally coming off the board. And it wasn't my pen, it was a marker. Thank you very much, Alex. I know you were going to. I know you.
I was going to say something.
All right, I only got 2 more picks before I end off the draft, so I need to find some value here. Obviously, there is some good players still available in the receiving game. I like Kendrick Bourne. He's still my favorite out of that receiving core in New England. But if I'm taking a flyer on anybody around here, to be honest with you, I don't know. It's a little bit more trickier, but I like what I hear out of camp about Romeo Dubs.
Wow.
So I am gonna take that receiver. I'm gonna get it out of the way because I just like it. And of course, since he's still there,
Yeah.
wouldn't it just be a shame if I didn't take him? But he's gonna be the number 1 running back in Philadelphia here real soon because he was drafted to be. Thank you very much, Mr. Kenneth Gainwell, coming home to daddy as predicted. You could have bet on that at the beginning of the show here, ladies and gentlemen, which is going to be fun. I have a segment that we're going to talk about after we're done this here that's going to be coming up in some upcoming shows. So stay tuned for that. Alex Loosemore, you only got 2 picks. Tell me what one of them is at least going to be.
I'm thinking I'm going to get my backup quarterback.
Oh.
I'm looking at it. I really like my receivers. I really like my running backs. I'm one of those guys that I always get my defense and my kickers later on. I draft the positions that are going to get you the most points, and then I'll worry about the rest later on. So to me, I'm looking at my backup quarterback here, and to me, there's really only one guy I like here, so I'm going to jump on it.
Oh.
I think Matt Ryan.
Hey, there you go.
That's my guy this late in the draft.
I like that. That's a good pick, actually, because he's probably going to put up some big numbers there.
Yeah.
And by the way, I see you out there. Shelby, did I miss a special guest? No, man, he's here. He's not frozen or anything, dude. He's right here. Christopher Cole also says you can't blame Leonard Fournette for eating his mom's soul food cooking. Sweet salad cooking, baby. God, I can't wait to get to Florida and try, was it crawfish? And
Yes.
corn? What? I cannot wait for that.
Called the crawfish boil.
Crawfish boil.
There you go.
Got that, babe. We need crawfish. Anyway, I am stressed out about fantasy. You don't need to be. See? I got you covered. This is the team that you're going to be needed to draft. Don't listen to these other two. I got you covered. Also says, here I was hoping for Brady as the special guest. Oh! I am so sorry to disappoint you that I am still a very small show and cannot get very big guests like Tom Brady to pop on here. Oh, my God. All right. Let's get Sid's last two picks before we get back to Loosemore here and my last pick. All right, Sid, what kind of value are you looking for? There's one running back that I think you need to handcuff, but I want to see what you're thinking here.
There's one running back you think I need to handcuff?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do that.
All right.
I mean, I do like Davis Price for San Francisco as a possible handcuff. I'm not sure if that's one you're talking about, but I am actually going to go with a tight end, a backup tight end, just because I think if this guy didn't get hurt last year, he would have been in the top 5 rounds, honestly, with his tight end, with his touchdown production. And they lost their number 1 receiver. There's plenty of targets to go around. He is still a little hurt, so he might not start right at the beginning. But Big Bob Tunyon is an absolute machine at tight end, so I don't mind grabbing him this late and stash him away for a little bit. Huh?
Big Bob Tunyon.
Big Bob.
I was
Tunyon.
hoping to steal him with that last pick.
So I like him there. And then this last player I'm going to take just so I can make my fantasy name, the Book of Mormom. Zach Wilson is going to be mine.
That's
just
awesome.
so I can make that fantasy name.
I love it. You got it. He's got the 2 quarterbacks. I hear the wife in the background being like, get out of here. All right, Alex, you got one more pick. You already got your backup quarterback. Who are you thinking about grabbing with the last pick of the first mock draft of the season on NSD here for you, baby?
Me and Sid are thinking like we just flip the roles because I'm going my backup tight end. Obviously, like I said, I wanted Tunyon. I can't have him, so I'm gonna stack a quarterback and a tight end here. I'm gonna get Hayden Hurst, who's gonna be the number 1 tight end in Cincy.
Yep, that he will be. I'm actually very happy I didn't have to make the choice that I was going to, because I was like, why is Mark Ingram still available in like the 16th round or 15th round if Alvin Kamara is going to get suspension? But nonetheless, I look at my board. I really have no holes. My team is the best ever team assembled for a redraft that you could ever ask for at the 12th overall position. And right now I'm looking at some of the value that's still out there, and I am going to take my final tight end, and I'm going to take the one out of the Chargers. I wish Gronk was still playing this year, because damn well he would have already been on my team.
I was like, he wouldn't have been there this late.
Gerald Everett, Los Angeles Chargers, as of right now's number 1 overall tight end. Just to show off the teams right now, let me put that down. Sid's team consists of Najee Harris with the first overall pick, as we all kind of would have suspected.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Elijah Mitchell, A.J. Dillon, Juju Smith-Schuster, Pat Freiermuth, Alan Lazard, Traylon Burks, Rashad White. Is it Tyler? Yeah, it's Tyler Allgeier, Devontae Parker, Julio Jones, Robert Tunyon, and Zach Wilson. Alex Loosemore's very own, NFL Edition's very own Alex Loosemore, coming in with 3 running backs right off the bat with Austin Eckler, Javonte Williams, and Leonard Fournette, then going up with Joe Burrow, Allen Robinson, DJ Hawkinson, Rashad Bateman, Melvin Gordon, Rondell Moore, George Pickens, Marlon Mack, Jamal Williams, there we go, Raheem Mostert, Matt Ryan, and Hayden Hurst. My team consisting of Nick Chubb, Debo, Mr. Michael Pittman, Breece Hall, Brandon Cooks, Dalton Schultz, Chase Edmonds, Tom motherfucking Brady, Christian Kirk, Ramondre Stevenson, Michael Gallup, Jarvis Landry, Romeo Doubs, Kenneth Gainwell, and Gerald Everett. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been the mock draft 3.0 technically of the season. You all in the comment section need to tell us who had the best team assembled. Was it myself? Was it Sid? Or was it Alex? Drop it down into the comment section. It will be used for all of eternity. We will literally go into the comment section and bitch and complain about it after the show is done. We're going to a quick commercial here where we're going to spend the last 15 minutes of the show talking a little bit about the Detroit Lions. We'll be right back right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here live NSD talking fantasy football, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and now about to be talking about Mr. Alex Loosemore's very own Detroit Lions. Biting ankles and leading us into the only content that actually matters for the next 4 weeks. Mr. Alex Loosemore, they are doing, well, it's not The Last Dance, is it? What's it called again?
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks, there we go.
Starting Tuesday night.
There you go. And your Detroit Lions had a great draft last year. Finally getting your edge rusher from Michigan. He stays home. And you get, I'm going to keep saying Jamel Williams, but... Jameson Williams.
Just think the alcohol.
What?
Jameson, the alcohol, whiskey.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant this was alcohol. I'm like, no. Maybe. He is a speedster. He was obviously traded up for Detroit. Obviously, we saw that video before of the back room where Detroit really did not think they were going to get him when New Orleans finally traded up.
Yeah.
So what did you think about the draft? Let's get your take. What do you honestly think about the Detroit Lions' future here going forward? Is this the proper rebuild you've been looking for?
Oh, this is absolutely what I envisioned for them with how they said they were going to do it. This has gone perfectly. Like last year, I was expecting 3-4 wins. We got 3 wins. They completely tore it down. They've let a lot of these young guys have these growing pains, and I think it's going to work out well for them, especially on the defensive side. You've got a lot of these young guys that are fighting for key roles. Amani Oruwariye had a breakout season last year at corner. He's locked in as the number 1 corner on the one side. And then it's kind of a battle elsewhere. Like they moved Will Harris from safety to corner last year when they had no corners left in the second half of the season. And he played very well. To me, he's a little undersized, but he's fighting former number 3 overall pick Jeff Okudah for that last outside spot. They're just making them fight. The best guy wins. So whether it's the number 3 overall pick or like a 3rd or 4th round pick from a few years ago, everyone's earning their spot on that defensive side. Aiden looks awesome so far. It helps that he's going against, I personally think top 5, but I'll say top 10 offensive line in the NFL.
I kind of hold with you where I still think the Detroit Lions have a top 5 offensive line. What do you think, Sid, on the offensive line there?
I love their offensive line. I think they're really good. I think Penei Sewell is an absolute stud, like 3 in the league.
He has been the best player from Lions camp. From the moment they put pads on, he's been lighting everyone up. And watching him, and they've been going every time Hutchinson's doing a pass rush, Penei's trying to stop him. They've just been putting the 2 young guys toe to toe, and it's
sense,
so fun to watch.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yep,
absolutely. True. And this offense last year, I said it right from the start. There was hardly anything there. Now Goff actually has some people to throw to, so we'll see how he does. I still don't think he's the guy, but I think he could do some damage with the guys around him. Chark has looked really good as that speed threat in Detroit so far. It's kind of funny because they're doing so many different things with him. And in the press conferences, the main thing has been the main response they're getting from Chark is, wow, they wouldn't let me do that in Jacksonville. So they're kind of using him as a weapon all over the place. Amon-Ra gets to go back to the slot and be that demon in the slot. Josh Reynolds looks awesome so far this camp. That connection with Goff from LA coming here, it's paying dividends so far. I just don't like that he's making Okudah look like a bum. Okudah will have really good coverage all the way throughout, and then Goff throws a ball that's kind of just off, and Reynolds will dive, reach back, and make the catch. Like Reynolds looks like a solid receiver here, so it'll be interesting when Jameson Williams comes back to see how they sort out that room. And the running back room's kind of interesting. They picked up Justin Jackson.
Yeah, they just recently did that too. Yeah.
Yeah, they had an undrafted rookie get hurt, and then he was still available, so they picked him up. I like him as that number 3 back behind Jamal and Swift. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he stays though, but Swift and Jamal look really good. They lost a lot of that extra weight they had on them, and they're both just yoked now. Like they both just look incredible, and it's shown on the field so far. It's very exciting right now.
Why do you think I traded for DeAndre Swift in our Dynasty League, right? I wanted him. I'm surprised
I didn't want to give him up.
I know you did. Sid, what do you got for him?
I like the Lions. I like exactly what Alex said. They're building the right way. They have a lot of young studs that I think are very good corner pieces to build a franchise around. I still think they're a year or two away. I do think they need a different quarterback. I don't think Goff's the answer. So with this next year being a heavy quarterback draft, if they get one of these young studs to come in and they don't run DeAndre Swift into the ground or get too demoralized with, losing a lot of games double-digit games every year is definitely not fun. So as long as they can keep their head on straight, look and see what they're building, I think they have the pieces there to really put it together. Like you said, building the defense the right way. Aiden Hutchinson should be an absolute monster. The line is, people say it all the time. If you ever played football, games are won in the trenches. Like offensive and defensive line is absolutely where you win football games, and that's exactly where the Lions are currently building their roster, which is awesome. They're not going to get a big quarterback and trying to lean on him or anything like that. They're doing it the right way. DeAndre Swift, I think, is absolutely a stud, super underrated. Amon-Ra is a stud. Like they're doing it the right way. I like the Lions a lot. Not this year, but going forward for sure.
Yes.
So with that being said, then Alex, I gotta ask you this: we all know that everybody's hoping that the Lions do better this year. Everybody's doing it now because of you, because you're the Lions fan. You've got us all kind of hoping. We all want to parade with you when you win the Super Bowl and stuff like that. But we all know it's definitely not going to be Jared Goff that does it. So out of all these quarterbacks that are possibly available, and to just name off some for some of the fans that we got that are looking to possibly be the first-round quarterbacks out of the draft next year. We're looking at Bryce Young out of Alabama, C.J. Stroud, obviously, out of Ohio, Will Levis, the Kentucky quarterback, Tanner McKee out of Stanford. And then you can start getting to some real prospects or some projects like the Dennis Leary guy I keep calling. I can't remember his actual first name, but out of North Dakota State. Anthony Richardson, the Florida quarterback, could possibly be the next Lamar Jackson. Hell, Tyler Van Dyke could actually go off and make people think that he's a good quarterback and someone can make him the next Josh Allen. And then Caleb Williams and Spencer Rattler. Are any of these quarterbacks going to be on the Detroit Lions next year?
So Caleb Williams has to wait another year. He's 2024.
Okay, gotcha.
To me, I'm not big on Bryce Young. It's another thing with all these Alabama quarterbacks. It's you play with all these studs, and there's nothing physically that wows me on tape. The arm doesn't. I'm not like, oh my god, the arm. Oh my god, the accuracy. Any of that. He's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback to me. To me, the two right now that I'm looking at, and I'll give a sleeper third. Mm-hmm. The sleeper is I like what Van Dyke can do. We just need to see it over more time.
Of course.
But to me, it's the second and third guys you said. CJ Stroud, which I hate saying because he's an Ohio State guy, and Will Levis. But CJ Stroud can do it all. And I know he's got the elite receivers, but he's got the ability to put the ball anywhere on the field. He's got the really good arm strength. He's got the good ball placement. He's athletic enough to get out of trouble if he needs to. So I really like him. Okay. And Will Levis is one of those guys, the more tape I watch, the more I like him. So
yeah, buddy.
Those are the two I'm looking at.
Now, it's funny because when I did this, I'm still thinking everybody, like, think of every fan out there right now, the way too early draft predictions and stuff like that. Bryce Young and CJ Stroud are the two names that every Seahawk fan and Panther fan out there are talking about. But your team is good enough right now where you might fall back to that, say, 5th or 6th spot, or even be good enough and you're still at like the 3rd overall pick. And man, if Will Levis is there where you could put him in and let Goff have his last hoorah season before he's literally cut and released and let off into the abyss of quarterbacks in the NFL, man, Will Levis would be really, really fun to watch. Sid, give me a couple more. Give him a question, Barry, before we all get out of here on NSD tonight.
Give him a question, you said?
Yeah, give him a question. What do you want to know about the Detroit Lions coming up this season?
As a Lions fan, would you prefer to go 8-9 and possibly make the playoffs and then get like a 16th pick, or suffer through another 2-3 win season so you can secure one of those top quarterbacks?
That's a tough one. That really is a tough one for me because I think, me personally, just because of how the schedule lays out, I think I've got them around 7 or 8 wins just because of the easier schedule. Mm-hmm. I think this team is realistically a 5-6 win team, but the schedule gives the extra couple games, in my opinion. And another thing people are kind of forgetting is this is the last year we'll have the Rams pick as well. So we can have that 8-9-ish win, even 6 or 7, be in that 10 to 16 range. Have the Rams pick, trade those two, and something else to move up. So I think I'd go that route. I think I'd go for a few more wins this year.
Shoot for a playoff spot at 8-9, like Andrew said, a 8-win team getting in.
Which would be kind of funny because say if like Will Anderson gets picked 3rd, let's say for some odd reason someone's sitting at 4 and takes a running back and like Bijan Robinson. If there's a team that's sitting with that 5th overall pick that doesn't need a quarterback, Detroit just says, I'll give you 4 first-round picks. You let me take Will Levis, and I really don't think any of the fans like the Detroit Lions do that. Oh.
Another thought process is there's still a couple holes on the team. So you take that first-round pick this year and the Rams' first-round pick this year. You finalize those holes. Mm-hmm. You do have the 1 more year on the contract of Jared Goff. Yep. And then when you're in Detroit in 2024,
baby,
you shoot up and go get your quarterback.
There it is. That's what I was kind of hoping.
That would be my dream scenario, honestly. Go get another corner and maybe a linebacker, finish off that defense. Yep. And then do whatever you have to do to get up and get one of those quarterbacks in 2024.
Wouldn't that be awesome if we all finally are meeting each other in Detroit 2024? Detroit's sitting there at couple of picks or whatever, and then all of a sudden on draft night, Caleb Williams has finally succeeded and won the USC, the Trojans, a title, and Calvin Ridley? No, not Calvin Ridley.
Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley. There we go. That's what I was trying to get at. Him and Lincoln Riley link up together and come to the Detroit Lions.
Dan Campbell's still there. Dan Campbell's still there.
You still want Dan Campbell?
Non-kneecaps.
Non-kneecap. But Caleb Williams or one of those guys comes to him. Alex is drunk off his mind. We're doing a live show. We're down there all doing live content. And Alex is like, we did.
I'd be running around.
We coming for your Super Bowls now, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Speaking of all of you, ladies and gentlemen, that is the show tonight. Oh, my goodness gracious. We had our big guest, obviously, and Alex Loosemore, finally back here on NSD. And we had the Steelers will not go 6-11, as I put down in my predictions here. Mr. Squid Rips Cards.
Hey, there we go.
Squid Rips Cards. Very own Sydney Swinton, with a lot of help from his obviously caring wife, Ash Swinton, who I see posting in the comment sections all the time of what teams are taking and stuff like that. So props to both of you for running that there. And thank you both for being on NSD tonight. Alex, let's get you out of here first and tell everybody where they can find you.
All right, so like we said before, you can find me every Thursday on the NFL edition on Bucs Report, 7:30 Mountain Time, 9:30 Eastern Time. And then in a couple weeks here, right before the college football season gets rolling, you can catch me on Let's Talk Football with Kate, Alyssa, and Sean Spencer for Let's Talk College Football. I'm beyond excited for that. I love college football, so being able to talk that with a group of people that also love it as much as I do is so much fun for me. And there's a few more things in the works, so stay tuned.
Yeah, thank you very much for being on here. Sid, tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, so catch me on Let's Talk Football. It was Sunday morning with the Swintons, with Sean, my lovely wife, and myself, but we're going to transition now that football has officially started with that game yesterday. We're going to start doing the fantasy show. Got a couple preview stuff to get us started. I believe this week is the kickoffs on that. So every Sunday, we're going to give you the last-minute updates right before game time, answer any last-minute questions. If you have injury report, guys, or just need a Hail Mary for the week, we're going to be jumping on that. It's going to be me, my wife, and David Wright on that one. And then there is another show that me and Sean are going to be doing. We haven't decided or nailed down a day of the week just yet, but it's just kind of to recap what's going on with all of Let's Talk Football, because like you said earlier, there is a lot going on over there. They got plenty of shows. Yeah. And we're going to be just recapping all the shows just so you can get a quick highlight of it. And then also catch me on Squid Rips Cards. Andrew finally got it right at the end of the day. You can find me on TikTok is where I do my stuff, selling football cards, doing different breaks and stuff. It's a lot of fun. Follow my same exact tag on Instagram and Facebook. We got a group there. Please join. It's a lot of fun. Just rocking the hobby, and special guests on this show every once in a while.
Damn right, buddy. I was hoping to get Kyle on. Kyle had to go be a witness for a wedding or something like that. So he obviously sends his best wishes, and sorry that he couldn't pick every Falcon fan or a Falcon player in every round to start the draft. So
Drake London first round.
Mariota in the second. All right, gents. Thank you much for being on. I'm going to get you out of here. Sid Swinton from Squid Rip Cards and Let's Talk Football. Alex Loosemore from NFL Edition on Bucs Report. Check them out. Thank you guys very much, and we will talk to you soon. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
All right. I was hoping they were just going to say bye. I was hoping usually both of them say bye or at the same time, or both people will say bye at the same time. That was just like the most Canadian thing ever, just allowing Sid to probably go first there. Zagniff Production says, yeah, Bama builds wide receivers and RBs. Quarterbacks are a crapshoot. Of course they are. A.J. McCarron was arguably one of the best quarterbacks to come through Bama in the last 20 years, and he was meh when he left. I loved A.J. McCarron, too. He was my favorite. Same with Sam Ehlinger. They kind of were very similar. Colt McCoy, all those guys. High upside, just didn't make it into the NFL. Not the kneecaps, Ash Swinton says. No. Chris Cole. Good stuff, guys. Damn right, it's good stuff. Good stuff here at NFL Edition. That's Alex. That was what I was going to say. Good stuff here at NSD with Alex Loosemore from the NFL Edition and Sid Swinton from Squid Rip Cards. I'm going to have to do it like that every single time in order for you to do this properly. Much love to every single one of you out there tuning in tonight for a special edition with the old co-host, with the obvious host of Let's Talk Football's like half the shows that he does. And I'm just standing around. The new way we do NSD here. I'm going to stand here with all of my takes and everything that I say. I ain't going to sit. I'm going to stand by all my takes for the rest of the year, ladies and gentlemen. I've set it up. I got a long cord here. I can walk around and ow, fucking hit my knee on things. Apparently, I got Lion fans down at the corner of my freaking desk. That really hurt. Anyways, thank you all again. Much love. This has been a hell of a show. I never want them to end. So, without further ado, I am going to end it with the intro, and then we're going to just let it roll with a little bit of Isolate Peaks. Lead singer Craig Hardy, one part of our Dynasty group for the NSD and Let's Talk Football. Shout out to him. Shout out to Isolate Peaks. Shout out to the NFL edition. Shout out to Squid Ripped Cards. Shout out to Let's Talk Football. And shout out to all you beautiful fans out there for tuning in tonight. Much love. I'm going to get you out of here, and we'll talk to you next week. Talking more Bucs, bringing you fantasy football, and doing whatever it is you love me to do, because I am Canadian and I have different laws than you. Ha! I'm going to go smoke weed. Bye. Love you.